Can you hear me? All right, let's see. I believe we are live. So I want to welcome everybody. I want to thank everybody who is on live with me and came to hopefully gain some positive information about business, building relationships, and stepping out on faith to embark on a journey that I know a lot of us probably thought about, but sometimes can get intimidated by the process. So I want to first start off with introducing myself. My name is Parrish Rathel. I am here based in Texas, Austin, and I am an entrepreneur. I just started on my journey a little bit about, I want to say a year ago, um, and I started off with just an idea. I have a lot of talents that I don't like to I have not liked to put on the forefront, but I felt like it was time for me to take the talents that I have and put them to use so they can benefit me and hopefully my family for the long run. So let's see a little bit more about me. I'm 35. I have two beautiful children. I have I'm married and um, what else can I tell you about me? Um, I'm a positive, uplifting person, and I truly believe in building relationships with everybody. And yeah, that's pretty much about me. I'm a little nervous. This is my first live, so um, I hope that everything that I say comes off clear. If there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. For any reason that I may not have the answer for your question, I promise to either you can email me and I will find the information for you, or I will pass on the information once I get it to the SID Center, and then they can go ahead and pass it along as well. For all questions, SID Center's hotline phone number is 740-469-2760. Okay, you can use that number. I will repeat it again for all those who may not have heard it or maybe joining a little late. It's 740-469-2760. That's where you can call in to and have any questions that you want to submit that I can answer for you. Okay. So let's dive in. So what I want to talk to you really about is pursuing goals, setting goals, and the importance of putting yourself and your business first. So a few little information. I'm gonna sort of give you a little background on how I started, the steps I'm taking and have taken, some of the information that I have found out to be helpful, and some of the big mistakes that I have made along the way. So I will start with just what motivated me and prompted me to start this journey on becoming an entrepreneur and venturing out to become independent. As you all know, I'm pretty sure everyone here and around the globe had some kind of effect from COVID. I think when COVID started in March last year, it sort of took it took everybody by surprise. And a lot of us were not prepared for it or prepared for how long it was going to last. So it honestly, it shook the world by surprise, and it left a lot of people, unfortunately, without resources to survive. And then it also, to me, it opened the eyes of America and around the globe, honestly, not just America, but it opened a lot of people's eyes to see what we really needed to do for ourselves to reclaim some of our I don't know, just resources, so we can continue to live in our just day to day to get by without jobs and stuff like that, because a lot of people had lost their jobs due to the pandemic. So that's sort of what motivated me to sit down, pull back, and look at what I can do in my life to provide for my family and to try to help others to understand the significance and the power that you also have to take your own power in your own hands and create resources so you can continue on to living throughout this lovely world of ours without having to necessarily struggle. With that being said, I will say this. Um, Everybody has to go on this journey the best way that suits them. What works for me may not work for you. And sometimes all the information with all the information out there, it could be intimidating. So I will always say do your due diligence and please do your own research. Because there's a lot of people selling a lot of things out here in the world, and they might tell you something that sounds really good, but it may not actually be beneficial. So I will always just say that no matter who it's coming from, please do your due diligence and do your own research. Okay, so going back. So for me, that was what prompted me and motivated me to start this journey. So I was sitting at home, of course, like a lot of us, with spare time on our hands, jobless, and wondering what we can do, what we can do for income, what we can do to fill the time, a lot of things. So I've always been a crafty person. Um, I don't know where I got this craftiness from, but it's just a gift. And I decided to take that craftiness and make it a business. So I started Take a Stand by Paris, and I now create stands. However, it started with me just an idea. I was at home and I was doing some little decorating around the house, and I'm a person who likes to personalize pretty much everything of mine. I don't like to really shop at local stores and just get what everybody else buys. So I decided to take that and turn it into a business. And while in the process of making something for myself, I looked at it and said, well, wow, this is something that's not on the market, something that's creative, I love doing, and I started a business. And I was so excited and so passionate about it. And I just immediately just sort of went head in. I just started. And I will say that was my eye-opening experience to really being an entrepreneur. And I think as excited as I was, and as quickly as I was developing this new brand of mine, there was so much information that I did not have, that I feel like, and that I still don't have all of the answers, to be honest, but especially in the beginning, I didn't have all the information to build this brand that I wanted in the way that I feel like it should be built. Meaning, I didn't have the resources. All the money that I was putting into my business was coming straight out of my pockets. Now, mind you, I don't have a job at the time. Will say I have been really blessed. My husband is employed and has been employed throughout the pandemic, so that was a big help. And also, he was him and my family has been my biggest support system as far as encouraging me to continue to build this business. But again, it definitely was a lot of information that I did not have that could have helped me slow down a little bit, push the brakes, and not necessarily put so much of our own funds into this business without seeing as much of a return, especially because it is new. Okay. Now, that is not going to be the case for everyone. There's going to be a lot of people who are really good at doing what they do, and they're already bringing money in. And so they just really need to educate themselves, or even just learn about building a business and how to operate a business so that they can get the proper funding, the proper support to help them really thrive. So for me, that was one of the biggest I would say no-nos is if when you first go in, have a plan. That is the biggest thing. Have a plan. I can't stress that enough. Okay, planning is everything. You don't want to get start a business and get burnt out because you're getting overwhelmed with the process because you just don't have the resources or even the information to make that business thrive. So I will say prepare yourself, have a plan, write it out. Figure out where you can get extra funding. Of course, it is going to take some of your own money in the beginning. It will take some of your own money to start your business. Okay, no matter what it is, it's nothing's in life for free. However, there is some places where you can start a business for little to pennies, to be honest. um, but time is another thing. I found myself getting overwhelmed with trying to learn so much in such a short time to try to hurry up with and quickly build my business. And so recently I had to sort of step back, regroup, replan, and start over so I can make sure that I'm building my business accordingly, and that it will hopefully grow to be successful the way I want it to without draining me physically, emotionally, financially, because it takes all of that honestly to run a business, and especially a successful one. Okay. Um, so that was some of the I would say the beginning mistakes I made, which was again, so I'm not, because I sometimes I talk and run on and I can go all over. So I'm gonna just reiterate. For me, the things that I learned from this experience, especially in the beginning, was understanding the value of one, planning. Okay. Two, having a team. Okay, having a team, I personally feel is imperative because it sort of takes the stress off of you to try to do so much so quickly and all at one time. Um, I have been blessed, like I said, to have a phenomenal team, which is really my family, and they have been my support system through. And that's how I am able to stand here today with a smile on my face, and saying I'm revamping this business. Okay. But the third thing was educating myself. I was hearing so much. I'm pretty sure, like a lot of us, we're on social media, we're on, what is it? YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, all of these lovely sites that's motivating you to tell you to start a business, right? Okay, that's good. You should be motivated to start a business. However, what they're not telling you, a lot of these people are not telling you, is the process, the steps necessary to start a business. Okay. And so for me, I was one of those people who was on the internet and seeing all these people saying, start this, start that, do this, do that. And I was just following their lead without educating myself. And that's a big no, because anybody could sell you anything if they look good. Okay. And it could be a bunch of trash, and that's not what you want, especially when you're putting your name on the line. So you want to make sure that you are educating yourself. So those were the things that for me, I had to really pull back, scale back, and say, you know what, I need to do my due diligence and put in the work to educate myself so I can make sure that one, I am operating legally and I'm not cutting corners. Okay. So, a few things I will say in that process was, it was a learning experience. I will never look at anything that I've gone through while building this business, or while I'm building this business, as a regret. You want to be confident in yourself. I know that's another thing that shook me to the core. I cannot stress enough how the confidence in myself. I had to really believe in myself. A lot of us are big. We are all, excuse me, our biggest critics. And I was always in fear of my voice, my speaking voice. So I never really cared to want to hear myself play back on the audio. And I was like, oh, I would start a project, say something, and then delete it. And it was like, you know what? It took me a while to understand and appreciate me for me. Don't compare yourself, your business, your the length of time that it may take you to start your business to get you to where you want to go to anyone else. Okay, that is a no-no. I will say that again. No, no. Everyone is built different. Everybody have different resources. Everybody have different skills. Everybody have different time limits. You know, you never know what's going on. So do not compare your story, your life, your business to anyone else's. Okay. Let's see. I have a question. So let me look at really quick this question. What if I do not have money to start with? So that is a good question. Um, if you don't necessarily have money to start with, what I will say is if you have a job, there's multiple things you can do. So one, if you have a job, start putting a little money to the side. It does not really take a lot of money to start a business, and that's what I will dive into as far as the steps to building a business. Anybody can start a business, honestly. So for me, I'll just give you, when I said nothing in life is free, that's not 100% true. Okay. So for instance, I used to sell things on Craigslist. This was many years ago, and I did not know about business because if I did then, I would have definitely succeeded and could have been doing that for many years and probably have a storefront right now. But there's a lot of things on, like, say, Craigslist, Marketplace, whatever other sites you can find where people give away stuff. You can find stuff on streets. I know a lot of people, especially in neighborhoods where people are moving out, they like to put the things that they don't want on the curb. Those are free. Okay. It doesn't cost money. It just takes your time and resources to go get it. And then you put it on a website and resell it. Um, so you don't necessarily always have to have money per se. There could be things, if you're good at building, if you have a lawnmower in your garage, go knock door to door. Okay. Start a side hustle. If you got a 9 to 5 that's just not cutting it and it's all for your bills, a side hustle is definitely one way to provide great extra cash so you can start this business. Okay. And I know a lot of us may be intimidated to do that, but you are your greatest asset. Okay. You have to use the resources that you have. Okay. If you ever notice what I have respect for the people that we drive by probably every day. I don't know how often, but I know I do. In Austin, there's a lot of people who stand on the corner who may seem to be less fortunate, but they're out there washing windows. They're asking, stopping every car. All you need is a towel and a squirt bottle. Somebody is bound to, utilize that service and then reward you with some cash or however they can at that point. And at that point, I would say use your resources, use your mind to flip it. Okay. So that is a good question. Like I said, it does not always take money to start a business. Okay. Also, I will just give you another scenario. We just moved into a new lovely home. All of the homes in this area is pretty much new builds. And I promise you, within the first 24 hours of us moving into this home, I've had at least 7 to 8 different businesses come knock on my door asking me to utilize their services. And honestly, I have taken advantage of some of those services, but that is a hustle. They understand the market, and that's what you have to understand. Learn your market, okay? Whatever you feel like you're good at, there is a market for it. I promise you there is. I don't care if you've been in the service industry, the hospitality industry, whatever industry you ever worked in, if you find yourself being good at it, do it for yourself, okay? Offer those services to somebody else because they probably can utilize that service. And then the best part is you can then set your own, you can set your own price. Okay, you don't have to be the biggest out there. You can be a small. And a lot of people right now, especially because of the pandemic, they are needing these services but can't pay what they were paying maybe a year ago prior to the pandemic. So they're looking for people who have the skills, have the knowledge, have the time to offer these resources or these services for a little bit less. And that's how majority of businesses get started. Okay, you don't have to be a big business with a big name or even a storefront to offer your service to somebody in order for them to want to utilize your services. Okay, so I have another question. It says, should I quit my part-time job to do this, or should I wait? Wait. 100% wait. The only I would never recommend anyone quit their part-time job to adventure out on this type of endeavor unless they are financially secure. And when I say financially secure, I mean you have at least 6 months to a year of savings to pay your rent, utilities, make sure you can provide food on your table, and you have enough money to get back and forth. Have a nest egg, okay? If you don't have a nest egg to say, look, I'm good, I don't need this job, then I would say wait. Okay, wait till you get your feet wet, wait till you plan, and wait till you really start seeing a return on the efforts that you're going to be putting out. Because like I said, you will be putting a lot of your own resources and money into it in the beginning, unless you have some kind of support system who's willing to fund it all for you. Okay, so wait. That is a good question, because I see a lot of people who often make that mistake. But honestly, like I said, I look at it from the pandemic's point of view, when a lot of people were laid off immediately without a question. Okay, a lot of people had to go into panic, or well, no, a lot of people went into panic mode and went into hustle mode. Okay, and as you probably see, you see a lot of new businesses thriving. A lot of new businesses, and that's because they had confidence to say, okay, look, I have skills, I have the knowledge, I'm going to apply it for myself and make a return. Okay, but regardless of the point, like I said, if you have a job and it's providing you some stability, keep that job until you can get on your feet with your business and continue to provide for yourself, that business, without worrying about losing that extra income. Okay, so those are some things that I learned. I have another question. Give me a second here. Let me look over. It said, you said have a team. I don't trust none of my friends or family, so why can't I do it alone? You absolutely can. You can. If you feel like you don't want to bring too many people in, which I completely understand, I had that same fear. So I had to really find the people closest to me that I trust, who was not going to try to steal my ideas, who weren't going to put information out there before I wanted it out there. So you can absolutely do it yourself. I would just say, please don't overwhelm yourself and try to take on so much at once. And that comes with properly educating yourself. Okay. There's a lot of resources out there that will give you this information and knowledge for free. YouTube happened to be one of my best friends. I did have to do a lot of research after I heard this information from people on YouTube giving me this advice. I had to then do my due diligence by going and researching it via the web, some books. The library is always free. Go get those books and get to reading. Okay, put your best effort forward to suit you. Okay, nothing's gonna really necessarily come to you if you don't go out there and seek it. Okay. So that's what I would say. Let me see. I have another question. I currently oversee a company. What challenges do you currently tackle with starting your company? Let's see here. What challenges do you currently tackle with starting your company? So again, some of my challenges was I was overwhelming myself. I wanted to do everything myself. And I was not savvy in a lot of areas that I would really need to help me build this business. For instance, um, I'm not really a computer girl, believe it or not. So there's a lot of programs that were so new to me. I'm used to Word, okay? Word was everything back in my day, and it was so easy to maneuver. And I thought, oh, when I start this, I can just go on Word and create my profile, create, my logo. And it was like I got on Word and they was telling me to download all these new things. And I felt like a 2-year-old probably entering third grade for the first time. It was not. It was crazy. So that was one of the biggest fears and challenges that I had. As well as, like I said, I overwhelmed myself trying to do so much and out of order. That was the biggest thing um, that I had to come to realization for with myself was you're doing things in the wrong order, which caused a lot of stress, which caused me have to stop, revamp, go back to the drawing board, write a plan, and then start over. So that was for me the biggest challenge. The other was trying to, I would say, trying to save me money. That was another challenge because, like I said, I was putting so much money out. And again, that had to do with the lack of information that I had. And it was costing me more, which times it will, but it was costing me way more than I should have had to spend if I had took the steps to properly prepare myself to run this business the way I feel like it should be run. So let's see here. Any more questions? Okay. So with that being said, I will give you some information that I found very helpful. Okay. If you, for instance, are already, you have a business that say you've been making money. For instance, you've been doing hair on the side. If you've been doing hair on the side, that is a business. Now, mind you, there's a lot of states that require a cosmetology license, okay? So I'm not going to tell you to do anything that is illegal. However, if your friends, okay, trust you enough to let you do their hair and they are paying you, you are a business. Keep doing that. Keep utilizing your friends to help you build your business. Go get your license and go get your business started, okay? Make it official. That is a business. So like I said, that right now, if you're doing hair, what else? Anything in beauty, your lawnmower in yards, if you're making stands, those are all technically side hustles until you can make that a legal business. Because the benefits, and I want to really make this clear to you, the difference between a side hustle and a business. Okay. A side hustle is great. It is wonderful. Okay. But if it's a side hustle that is, you're not getting your return on, you're doing it wrong. Okay. You're doing it real wrong. So that was what I came to find out. With business, when you are a business, there is so many benefits that will save you time, money, and give you resources for free. Okay. So what comes with building a business is creating, either registering your business, basically. And that means registering your business with the IRS, getting a sole proprietorship, a EIN, creating a LLC, whatever it is, but it will need to be registered with the IRS. That is how you become a legal business. And that's how you open doors to resources that you just endless amount of resources that can help you build your business faster and give you more insight and information to other connects, if you will. Okay. So that is what I will throw out there and say that that's the difference between a side hustle and a business. Okay. A side hustle is good. You get to keep that little money to your side, but you're not getting a return on that. And what I learned from someone else was this world was built for employees to pay and for employers to basically do nothing. Okay. So you have to decide which one you want to be. You want to be an employee or an employer. An employer is the one with all the greatest benefits because basically they're the ones kicking their feet up for most parts, sitting back and letting the employee make them all of the money and only getting probably 1% of that pie. And that's not what you want. Okay. Especially in today's society. Okay. Inflations are crazy. And with the dollar continuously being devalued, you don't want to have to work harder to try to stay afloat. Okay, so you want to do your all and do what you can to become an employer and not an employee. Okay, I have another question. Can I get support from SIDS if I want to start a business? Absolutely. SIDS is a great program. It is a program that it's a mentoring program. This is what they do. This is how they give back. And this is what I appreciate the most about this program. They literally cater to your specific needs, and they accept pretty much all. I think there is an age requirement. I believe it's age 14 to, I want to say 23. I will confirm that in just a second and get back with you with the age. But it's definitely, even if I think you're older, I'm pretty sure they can direct you direct you somewhere to get some information on how to start a business. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So yes, the age ranges is 13 to 23 years of age. And they have a variety of different mentors, so you're not limited. And I'm pretty sure they will all be able to help you in some way, get the information needed to start your business. Okay. Let's see here. The email address, which let's see here. It's www.sidcenter.org, and that's SIDCENTER.org. Okay. You can go ahead and send the email over, ask them the questions that you need to ask, and I'm pretty sure somebody will get back to you, answering your questions and hopefully giving you the guiding you to where you need to go to start your business or get the information that's at least needed. But again, a lot of the information when it comes to starting a business, your greatest asset is you. Utilize the internet if you have it. If you don't have it, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be watching this video. So if you're watching me, you got internet access right now. Go ahead and pull up another one and start Googling what you need to Google to start a business. Okay, but also libraries are free. Utilize those libraries to go look up some books, get some information, and yeah, do the due diligence, put in the work. Okay. So again, I'm gonna try to go back real quick. So some more information that I found very helpful was understanding that your personal credit has absolutely nothing to do with business credit. That was one of the biggest, for me. Okay, I always felt like you have to have personal good credit. I honestly didn't know about business credit. I always felt that your personal credit was your lifeline, and I'm happy to tell you it's not. The one thing a lot of people don't know is that business credit, especially if you have not ever had business credit, it's a fresh, clean slate. It is a fresh, clean slate, and you have access to it. And all you need to do is apply for it. Again, not with a side hustle, but with an actual business. Okay, it's a difference. So if you are to that point and phase in your life where you've been hustling on the side for some time, and you got a little cash set up, and you're like, okay, I've been doing hair. I've been made a couple hundreds. I'm about to, keep doing this. You got a good, decent amount of clientele. Turn that into a business. Register with the IRS as as a sole proprietor, a LLC, whatever you feel is, where you are on your level at this point in time, and then start looking for that business credit. So that was the biggest thing for me that helped me, and that I'm currently working on is opening different lines of business credit and getting information on how to fund my business without me breaking my personal bank account. Okay. So that was some things that I learned. So vendor credit. That's another thing. It goes along with once you, like I said, building a business, you want to do, let's see here, separate your personal from your business. We got that. And that's one thing. There's 3 bureaus that I had no idea. They're sort of like your, like the credit, your personal credit. I'm sorry. So you have with the personal credit, you have, I believe it's Equifax, TransUnion, and let's see, y'all know the 3 bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and there's one other, okay? But those are your personal. Again, have nothing to do with your business credit, okay? So with your business credit, there's this thing called Dun and Bradstreet. They are the gurus of business credit. You can go on Dun and Bradstreet. It's DUN and Bradstreet, which is BRADSTREET. They are a good internet resource where you can go on and get a lot of information about building business credit and getting it for free. Okay. So, and actually Dun & Bradstreet is one of the largest reporting agencies for business. So, and that literally takes, I think it's free. I believe it's free. I will get back to you if you have a question or if you're interested with that information. I have another question. Let's see here. Can I do this in Nevada or only in Texas? This is around the globe. If you're referring to starting a business around the globe, absolutely, this is not limited to anywhere. And that's another great question, because what I found out doing my own, due diligence and putting these feet to work is with the LLC or a business. So especially I want to talk about LLC, which stands for Limited Liability Company. And that's, if you ever look, majority every big company in the world is an LLC, including Google. Okay, I was like, all these companies are LLCs, and depending on the state you live in, the prices can vary of how much it will cost you to get started. However, again, so say for instance, you are in Nevada, right? And your business is based online. You're selling t-shirts online, okay? If you're selling t-shirts online, you don't have a storefront and you're not really doing necessarily direct business only in the state of Nevada. What I found out, great information, take note, is you can register your LLC anywhere in the world. So what I heard was, and I done my research, was I know Nevada and there's a few other places that have like crazy fees for LLCs for starting an LLC. And if your business is primarily doing business online, or you can do business, remote, you can start your LLC even if you're doing like drop shipping. You can register your LLC in Delaware, which has the lowest fees. I believe it was $100, or a little bit under $100 to start an LLC, and you can operate that business in Nevada from your home legally. Okay, I did not know how many businesses around the world have their LLCs registered in Delaware or other states because they don't want to pay those high, expensive fees that their state may be charging. Okay, I know Texas is another state that has some hefty fees. It was not pretty when I paid it, but it came in having that information knowing to me. Knowing that I can start an LLC or a business in a different city or a state that I don't live in was really beneficial. Okay, so again, do your due diligence, do your homework. It's out there. The information is free. You can start an LLC anywhere, as long as I would say, if you're not doing a business where you have a storefront. If you're doing business and you plan to have a storefront, like you're doing hair and you're doing it primarily in Texas, I will say it's best to register your LLC to be in Texas. That way, you're covering all of you're following the state guidelines. Okay. So let's see here. I have another question here. Do I need a college degree to get an LLC? Absolutely not. Your 2-year-old can get an LLC, okay? A LLC is just something that you register with the IRS saying you or someone else has started a business and you want to start collecting, using that as a way to take advantage of all of the resources, tax breaks, everything else that comes along with being a business owner in life. So, you do not have to have a college degree. You don't have to have a high school degree, and you don't have to be a certain age. Okay. So if you're a parent, you have a business and it's doing well and you want to venture out somewhere else, you just had a child, you want to pass that business down to one of your children, you can do that. You can definitely do that. So that is, yes, to answer your questions. Hope you get that help. Any other questions before I move on to some of the other great information that I've learned and I want to share with you? I'll give you a minute to think about it, but I'm gonna continue on, okay? Um, Now, the other going back a little bit, excuse me, going back a little bit, I want to talk about another thing that um, for me was that I dived into that I sort of wish I would have did a little bit more research before. So with me starting my business, I decided to use Etsy. I used to say ET. A lot of people laugh at me with that, but Etsy, ET, however you choose to pronounce it, up to you. But I use that platform to sell my products. Now, what I will say is, with a lot of platforms out here, especially because they know a lot of new people, a lot of us are new to being business owners and entrepreneurs. They offer a lot of these services that seem to be easy, quick, and they come with hefty prices. With ET, it is a great platform. However, because I was so small, I was paying so much in their fees to utilize their platform to sell my products on that it was hard to really see a return. So again, that comes with doing your due diligence and putting your doing a little research about if this is best for you. You have to know where you are financially to understand if the fees that you're going to be paying for some of these services are worth it. And when I talk about utilizing some of the services online, that's another thing with the LLC that I was talking about. So with an LLC, to properly get registered for a LLC versus a sole proprietorship or just to get an EIN, the sole proprietorship and the EIN, those are 100% free. Okay. And I would recommend, if you are a small business or a small entity, start there first and then grow that into a LLC. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna read that question in just a second because I don't want to go off basis. But yes, know where you are, and if you need to start with a sole proprietorship or EIN, those are still ways to register your business or you as a business with the IRS. So you can start at least utilizing some of the business sources out there, and of course, take advantage of some of those tax breaks that come along with being a business entity, okay? However, what I was going to hit on was the fact of utilizing some of these services to help you establish, so for instance, a LLC, which again is a limited liability company. I used a platform in the beginning, which was, oh my goodness, who did I use? I apologize. It was not Inkfile. Well, Inkfile is one. Inkfile is the one that I originally went with because their fees, one, were better than the other. LegalZoom. There it goes. Okay. So LegalZoom is the one that I originally used. And not to knock LegalZoom, but it was a hassle. It took them almost 2-3 months to process my LLC. It never got processed. They kept coming back with the names need to be changed. And I just canceled it because it was taking way too long. I went with Inkfile, that's INC file, and literally had my LLC in a matter of 3 days. Okay. and their fees were way less. Like literally, I don't even really think half. One of them didn't have a fee, but the only reason why I paid more than what the state charges is because I wanted to do it rapid. So those are some of the things I will say. Make sure when you look for the best company, if you're going to utilize a company to help you or assist you with any of this process, make sure you do your research to see if the fees are feasible, okay? Because sometimes it may look good, but you're really getting cheated, okay? So back to the questions really quick. It says, I'm Black. Will people trust me to buy stuff from me? I don't think so. People don't trust me to buy stuff. I don't think that's necessarily true. Um, I think you limit yourself. You truly limit yourself if you're putting yourself in that box and saying, oh, because I'm this, somebody's not. Look, you should not care about how anybody else perceive you, because if you look around this world, we are operating this world by everybody working together. I will tell you this, your strongest asset again is you. Okay. If you don't believe in you, nobody else is. And I don't want you to put yourself in a box or be fearful of interacting with other people who don't look like you. That is, I think it's a sad misconception. You're Black and you're beautiful. You should know that. You shouldn't need nobody else to validate you. So yeah, of course somebody's gonna buy it. I've had plenty of customers. I started small, and I swear within 24 hours of me putting my first stand on the website, I had somebody wanting to buy, and I had numerous of people telling me how much they love my product. Okay, you don't necessarily always have to put your face on the forefront of your business, but regardless of the fact, if you choose to do it with confidence, okay, be you, be glad in who you are, okay. International relationships, global, like build those relationships. Do not put yourself in that box and think just because you're a certain race, gender, or however you choose to identify with yourself in life, somebody's not going to perceive you and you want to utilize your services or buy something that you're selling, okay. Are you a SID mentor? I am becoming a SID mentor. So it's something that I'm definitely taking on this year. I'm growing one myself so I can make sure that I am the best mentor. So that I can give the information that I learned and pass it on. So that is something I am working on. Let's see here. We will email the remaining questions to you and you email back. Okay, so we're gonna get the rest of the questions. If anybody else have questions, again, please email them to www.sidcenter.org, and that's SIDCENTER.org, ORG, okay? And if you have any questions that you want to phone in, 740-469-2760, okay? I'm open to all questions, no matter what. I will do my best. If I don't have the answers, I will do my best to get the research. I will do the research, excuse me, and get you the answers that you deserve, okay? So email is, let's see here, I'm sorry. Email is info@sidcenter.org. So that's info.SIDCENTER.org, ORG, okay? That's where you can email all your questions, okay? So let's see what else to cover. We talked a little bit of, like I said, starting business, the startup of businesses. There's so much to business, honestly. So again, just to touch on some of the questions that I went through, I'm gonna reiterate and go over some important, like just I said, just facts that I've learned. So no matter what you look like, no matter what you choose to dress like, be you, be the best you, and somebody is going to want your services, okay? Um, don't overwhelm yourself trying to do everything at once. Trust me, I made that mistake and I hit a wall quick. But when I drew back and I revamped and I strategized better, I was able to align, if you will, the stars, and they're slowly but surely meeting. Okay, so again, if you don't want to build a team, if you don't want to have a team, and you truly want to take it on yourself, I definitely encourage you to. It's nothing wrong with that. I would just say, pace yourself to where you're not overwhelming yourself, to where you're losing sleep, you're getting headaches, or you you're just creating anxiety. Okay, because it's exciting. It is exciting to be an entrepreneur, to show the world what you're capable of doing. So you want to make sure that you sort of take your time so you can be the best you and create the best version of whatever product or services that you're willing or trying to sell or will be selling. We're gonna speak it. Okay. Um, this is also really quick because I know you guys see this lovely poster back here, which a lot of people would say is like a vision board. That is what I call my accountability board. If you have a plan, write it, make an accountability board, look at it, and encourage yourself to continue to pursue it. Do not be in a rush to try to pursue it all in one night. That's just not how life works. I'm being honest. It's a process. Be patient. Be patient, most importantly, with yourself. Okay. Don't give up. Keep your head up and keep putting efforts every day into whatever it is in life that you want to do. Okay. I think that's all we can do, all we can ever ask for. Again, I am open to all questions. I have so much more information that I would love to give, more information that I am also learning. And I will, if you have any questions about like what I'm going through or what I'm doing now with my business, I'll be more than happy to let you know on that. Um, yeah, so again, I want to thank all who joined. I want to thank everybody who asked questions. I want to just, thank Sid for allowing me the opportunity to be able to speak to some phenomenal people out there and get the word out, to share the knowledge that I have learned about building a business. And hopefully this was enough, if not just the start, to motivate someone out there to pursue their dreams and to, go to be an entrepreneur. Don't give up on yourself. Like I said, I'm super excited about the adventures that I and my family is taking on building different businesses, learning different things, and interacting with more people. So I hope that you all come and join again. I hope I'm pretty sure you haven't seen the last of me. Well, I know you haven't seen the last of me. So again, thank you all for your time. Thank you all for the questions, and I look forward to, like I said, the future and seeing what it holds. But again, I want to give you this information again because I do not want to miss any questions, and I want to make sure that you have the information that is needed for you to get some of this, the free information that's out there to you. Okay, so if you have any questions, want to email or call SID Center. SID Center email is info, and that's info dot SIDCENTER.org, and that's ORG. Okay, that is the email address to SID Center, and the phone number again is 740-469-2760. That is the phone number to SID Center. They do have quite a few locations around the world. I know Nevada being where it started, and I know Texas is another location. I believe there's one in Florida and a few other places. Okay, but again, those are all questions you can email SID Center, and they would be more than happy to ask. Please spread the word, encourage someone else to embark on the same journey. If you need help, or if you're interested in building a team and you know somebody who's in the same journey, want to start a business, don't hesitate to build those relationships. It's going to be beneficial for you in the long run. Okay, so again, I just want to thank you all for your time, and y'all have a wonderful evening. Okay.